You've just tuned in to the greatest podcast in the world right now, today, this second. It's And the Wife with Anastasia. He's playing here right now at the Green Valley Ranch. Did you see the? Have you seen the ad?
Green Valley Ranch?
Yeah.
I knew he was in town. I didn't know where.
Oh, you can get it going.
You can live out your teen fantasy, preteen fantasy.
He looks nothing like he did back then.
Oh, you don't think he's keeping it tight?
I don't know.
Hey,
you don't want to ruin the dream.
Well, I probably wouldn't even think he was cute if I was a kid now. But
yeah, I know he was really hot back then. Did you have anybody on your walls when you were a teenager?
He's still a baby. He's like 12
I know.
years
He probably
old
still has the same pictures up, but
no, I didn't have any posters.
No posters
of people. No, it was just
of
like
people. Okay, wait. That makes me. What did you have posters of then?
Like dead animals and
of people.
Like upside down crosses or something.
Well, not live people.
Yeah, like battle scenes and stuff.
Anything. With
I just had like
involved.
band posters.
Just
like
random bands.
No, like stuff I was listening to, like Avenged Sevenfold, and I don't know. I would tell you the names, but you'd be like, who are all those people?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's Avenged Sevenfold?
Yeah, who? I couldn't even repeat.
That's like you telling me. That's like you telling me what bands you had on your poster when you were a kid. I'm like, I'm not gonna know any of these fools.
He's trying to say you're old.
Hair
like
bands.
Old ass.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Sean Cassidy?
Yeah, who the fuck? I don't know who Sean Cassidy is. That's correct.
That's from the 70s, dude.
Yeah.
Elementary school.
Yeah, that's,
Lucky for you, you can see him at Green Valley Ranch
I'm going right now.
Right now.
this Friday night.
After
So,
this, I'm
Frank,
on my way.
did you have anybody on your walls?
I don't think so. Michael Jackson, probably.
Gosh, so lame. I had no one because I like no one.
Boo.
I hate
But
everyone.
I had crushes. So did you have any crushes on anybody when you were a teenager other than Sean Cassidy?
Oh, Sean Cassidy was history by the time I was a teenager.
Okay.
Dead to me.
Probably Tom Cruise and
It's not a bad pick.
yeah.
I thought he was kind of cute, and then I found out he was so small.
I know.
He's like
I didn't
5
know he
foot.
was that tiny when
Yeah.
I was in high
Yeah.
school. And he didn't come out as the nut that he is.
Yeah,
now.
and
Yeah,
he's so
Scientology.
extreme. It's so extreme.
Yeah, back, but this was back in the days of, Risky Business. And
Yeah, back then he was cool.
Top Gun.
Yeah,
When he was still young and smooth.
That's right.
Young and smooth. Ugh.
Young and
You know who I
smooth.
like? Anthony Michael Hall. I know, it's super weird.
Anthony Michael Hall. Remind me who he is. I know that
That
name.
Yeah, I don't know
movie,
either.
Weird Science. Do you remember Weird Science?
Yeah.
The blonde guy.
and
The
the
A
Nerdy
blonde
one?
guy?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The nerdy
thought he
one
was-
from the Breakfast
Yes.
Club.
I
Yes, the
remember.
nerdy one from
I
the Breakfast
remember.
Club. I had like really nerdy blonde.
I was like, I know that
very thin
name.
men.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah. I thought he was so hot.
He was on something recently, and
It
we're
was
like,
the Goldbergs. I was like,
Oh,
oh
it
my
was.
God, it's Anthony Michael Hall. That's why I was so
he
excited.
played the nerd. Yeah.
You had a crush on Anthony Michael Hall, huh?
Wait.
Oh my God. I think I'd have to go with Brendan Fraser as my second one.
no.
From
Yeah.
Encino Man.
Not now.
And didn't he play George of the Jungle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was hot in that.
Yeah. Back in 2001. Or when was that? 19 in the 90s. He was all juiced up. Like
Who? Oh, Brendan Fraser. Yeah.
he was all juiced up.
He was. And now his hair is like super weird. It's like
His whole
it's like Trump's hair. Like you can't tell where it starts and stops and where it's doing.
I guess
Have
I
you
haven't seen him
Oh,
lately.
you have to see him. It's like I don't know what is happening
Yeah.
on his head, but something weird.
he looks pale with
Yeah.
bad makeup.
Yeah.
No
And he looks like
Botox.
You ever heard of the hairy ball theorem? It's a mathematical problem.
No.
You can't comb all of the hairs on a sphere in the same direction. There's always going to be like a cowlick.
Yeah.
So every time I see Donald Trump's head, I think of the hairy ball theorem.
You can't get it all right.
You can't get it all the same direction. There's always like a point somewhere.
That's gross.
And I like the guy from NXS, the lead singer. I thought he was so hot. And the drummer from NXS, so hot.
It's always the drummers.
Oh, those drummers. That's why
Lucky
you
for
should
you.
be a drummer in a band because
There's Bon Jovi
That
too.
happened. That happened.
He's
where
a drummer
when I
in the band now.
I know.
Well,
Said
I'm not
chicks
in
just-
yet, but
Oh, I thought
throwing
you-
themselves
sliding in.
at you.
Sliding
I have to learn all the songs
Because
first.
there's nothing hotter than
I
that
was
drummer.
playing drums in high school, and there was this chick who was like, "There's this song I heard called Being in Love with the Death Metal Drummer, and now I want to do that. So can you like?" I was playing drums for some whatever rock band, and I was like, "I guess I got to learn some death metal songs.
It always gets back to pussy.
Frank.
Gotta be. Why even play drums for any other reason?"
There's no other reason.
Okay, who were you crushing on, Frank?
When?
In high school, yo. In high school.
This girl I met in 1988.
Celebrity crush, fool.
Yeah, celebrity. I'm not a celebrity yet, but one day. No.
In high school, I don't know.
Yeah, you shut up.
He does. He just doesn't want me to get angry.
No. I kind of like Rosie Perez.
See?
Oh God, Rosie Perez. I couldn't even
Not her
listen to
voice.
her.
I know. I can't listen to
I didn't
him.
like her voice.
And he.
Oh,
just-
Halle Berry, duh.
Yeah. I guess she's okay. Rosie Perez, though. Yeah.
aight.
She's okay. Halle Berry's all right. She's
Halle
pretty.
Berry's kind of like Rihanna. She's like,
Oh,
Don't. He hates Rihanna. He says she looks like
Rihanna's
a
a
bulldog.
dog.
you think so?
She has a bulldog face.
I don't know. I think she's sexy. I wouldn't kick her out of bed.
Halle Berry's better than Rihanna, but
Well, definitely.
Like, that's like comparing a diamond to a
I guess
piece
I'm
of
just
shit.
thinking of the
Oh,
short
my
hair
goodness.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Halle Berry really evolved into a very beautiful woman. And maybe Rihanna will do that too. I think Halle
You think
Berry
she'll
when
age
she was
gracefully?
Is she gonna get a different face? Because
Oh
she looks
my
like a
goodness.
fucking bulldog.
All right.
Good enough for Drake.
Is Drake? She's with everybody. She's with
No, she's with ASAP Rocky now.
I thought
Really?
she was with.
Yeah,
What's his face?
For real?
yeah.
The
That's
kid with
funny.
the big old head, the big melon.
Kid with the big melon.
From the Titanic movie. What's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio.
Rihanna?
Yeah, they've been together for
He doesn't have a
years,
big-
off and
No.
on.
Big head?
He has a huge
Leo?
head.
I didn't know he was with Rihanna.
Off and on
I
for
didn't know.
years.
I didn't
and
hear
years
about that
and years.
either.
This
Not
is
like
news.
I don't know. I think they're some sort of friends with benefits for many years. Frank's gonna look it up. Okay, so look it up.
I don't
Friends
believe-
with benefits.
I don't believe you.
You don't have to believe it. It's just the truth. So, Robert, who were you crushing on back in high school last year?
When was he in high school?
It was longer ago than last year.
Was. Yeah. Probably, I think Tom Cruise was.
Well, he was cute. He's still
Tom
keeping him
Cruise,
pretty
he's cool.
tight. So no.
It's going to sound lame, but I did genuinely grow up with these people. But
Uh-huh.
like Miley Cyrus and
Mm-hmm.
Selena Gomez.
How old are you?
22.
Yep, that's my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. They're like lame now, but when
My
I saw
kids
them
don't
on
think
TV,
so.
Still.
yeah, everyone still thinks they're cool, but now they're all like celebrity and have like plastic surgery probably.
Yeah.
But like when they were young, like on TV, and I was also like a kid. Yeah, like Ariana Grande. I think she was, I don't know, cuter before, but now she's all like got. I don't know.
I never liked Ariana Grande.
I think she's super cute.
I don't. Yeah.
But
Not
She
into
just
it
seems
now.
like somebody's daughter all the time.
yeah, she does seem
Yeah.
like someone. Well, maybe that's why I like her, because she seems like someone's daughter. She seems like a sweet girl. I don't like her music though, but she seems like a sweet girl.
Yeah, I don't really.
just a sweet
care
young
for any
lady.
And she
music.
has her brother with her all the time at awards things, and like they have a nice little close knit family. And she talks about her parents, and I'm like, oh, she's a nice girl. She
Yeah.
dates terrible men, but she's a
Yeah.
nice girl. Okay, so I have this weird story I want to tell you guys. All right, so I was watching this show called it's some weird ghost show that comes on the Travel Channel, and this couple, they were watching a show, and it was about haunted places.
So it's a show
About-
of them watching.
Yeah, they're telling their story. So they saw a show about haunted places, and they saw a haunted like hotel in Ireland, and they're in America. And they were like, we should go to this haunted hotel. It's supposed to be one of the most haunted places in the world, whatever. And they were like, we should go. So they go. And they want the scariest room, and they give it to them. Okay.
You gotta pay extra.
Yeah. Maybe. You want to see ghosts, you got to pay for it. So they get attacked by ghosts. Okay. So I want
Attacked? What do you
attacked
mean
by
attacked?
ghosts.
Attacked.
Yes, they saw hooded people walking around. They felt
Did they
cold
throw things
spots. No, they felt cold spots in their room and hot spots. Hot spots and cold spots in the hallways.
They turn the AC on.
There was
Yeah.
just bad circulation. Like,
They felt sick to their stomachs a lot and threw up.
Yep.
how long were they there? I mean, after
They
you
were-
feel like the first couple things, you get the fuck out of there.
They want to get haunted. So anyway, I want everybody right now to try to take your hand and touch the middle of your back. Can you touch the middle of your back?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it hard for you to do? To touch the middle of your back?
No.
Okay. So the guy says his wife was in the shower and he heard her screaming from the shower. And he said, honey, what is it? And he comes running in and she's like, oh no, it's attacking me. The ghost is attacking me. It's scratching my back. Look. And she has all these bloody scratches on her back. And he said, the husband says this, well, she can't reach the middle of her back, so she couldn't have done it.
What the?
I was like, dude, what? Wait.
She had baby arms.
No, she was a regular sized woman with regular sized parts.
She was like Nemo.
Yeah, and so I was like, can I scratch? Yeah, I could scratch my whole entire back if I wanted to. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? And so he's like, she couldn't have done it. It was the ghost.
It was the ghost.
And then he said that his wife became possessed by the ghost while they were there.
Uh-huh.
And she was saying crazy things, and her eyes rolled back in her head, and she got sick, and she threw up, and then she passed out. And I was like, dude, you guys have food poisoning or something.
Yeah.
But they picked it. They chose to go to the haunted place and then had a horrible, scary adventure. And they didn't stay for the entire time. They left early and went home.
Wait,
So-
was it multiple nights? Stay?
Yeah, they
or-
were supposed to stay there for. They were in a different country, so they were staying there for a nice.
They
chunk
picked
of
that
time.
to be their hotel for the whole trip. Like they didn't say let's spend one night
Yeah,
in the
they're like,
hotel and then go to
let's-
a regular hotel.
Let's
for
do
the
like
rest of the week.
2 at the haunted one, and then
Yeah.
like let's just in case, like book a second place.
They're like,
Yeah, I
well,
know,
I
right?
already booked 7 days here. So.
Okay, so if you're going somewhere to be scared and then you get scared, why are you disappointed?
were they disappointed?
They
or?
were upset. The guy was like, I can't believe this happened to us. Like, fool, you
Yeah.
went there to have that happen to you.
I went to
What?
the movies and then they played the stupid video on the screen. I was just trying to look at the blank wall. Man.
What
Why
the
am I
hell,
going
bro?
and seeing a movie at a movie theater?
All right, so have you had spooky things happen to you that you tried to have happen to you? Like a Ouija board or anything like that? Or a seance?
Nothing spooky.
It wasn't spooky? Did you invite any of this into your life, though, like these people did?
Well, did they like go and have some kind of ceremony to try to
No.
lure the ghosts in, or they
No.
they like walked in and had ghosts on site?
Ghosts were there ready to get them.
So we're gonna get you.
I think they
Well,
paid these
in
ghosts
that
to-
circumstance, I would have to wonder if there's some psychosomatic stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think?
Or maybe there's a gas leak or something in the place.
Somebody
Bit
gave
of-
them some shrooms in their tea.
Yeah, real quick. That's how they keep getting people to say it's haunted there. They just slip you a little something on your
Yeah,
room
it's like,
key and-
here's a complimentary beverage.
Exactly.
And you start just like seeing crazy stuff.
Like when you go on the cruise and they give you that one drink to get you going. There's probably a tiny little microdose of shrooms in that bitch.
You think so?
It'll get you to start spending.
Dude, I don't even want to be on a cruise anymore. All these cruise ships are like crashing into each other and shit. Are you ladies aware that some men's bathrooms literally have like a pig trough?
Yes, Frank was
yeah.
telling me
Unit?
about them. He's
Yeah.
like, you don't want me to because we have all these children.
Yeah.
And back when the girls were little, I have this problem with public restrooms.
Sure.
I like
understand
super
it.
hate them. I
Yeah.
super hate them. And so I don't go all day because I
Mm-hmm.
refuse to use them, most of them.
Yeah.
And when we had little kids have to go all the time, just all the time. And when we were together, I'm like, well, I don't have to take the kids because you're here. You can take them to the bathroom.
And he's like, you don't want
He's like, you don't want them in there. You don't want them to see what's in those bathrooms.
that
Anna."
shit
It's fucking
is
gross.
fucking gross.
You go in, at NASCAR,
yeah. It's always
on the
at some
infield,
sporting event.
Yeah.
all the bathrooms have the trough.
Yeah.
And I was like, so you want me to take one of our daughters into the sea of dicks and
Yeah.
pubic hair
That shit is disgusting. And then
all in your face?
there's bunched up tissues down in the trough.
Where are the
People are
tissues
fucking
coming
ass.
from?
I don't fucking
Some-
people blow their
What?
nose like, here's a trash can. I'll put it right there.
right there being the piss trough.
Yeah.
It's gross. And it's still that way to this day.
Yeah.
And I haven't been to Dodger Stadium in a while, but I assume it's probably still exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's just all troughs.
The USC Coliseum is like that. It's a
Why?
trough.
Why don't you guys stand up against this?
Nothing I can do.
Do you
Well,
what?
I do. I do make a stand. I go in there and I pee in the middle of the floor.
Just straight in the middle of the floor.
You know, I stand
Does it
in the
make a
center of the
difference?
bathroom.
So
Well, they throw me out. I don't know if they made a change.
Yeah. They put a sign on the door.
Yeah.
so
No
okay,
pissing in the middle of
okay.
the floor.
But does it bother you going to the bathroom with someone else right there, just
I can't
checking
do
out
it.
your parts? And...
I can't do it.
Okay.
My understanding is you're not allowed to look down.
Well, who's not looking?
You're supposed to stare. You're supposed to stare at the guy
You
next to
have
you
to
right in
look
their
where
eyes.
you're aiming.
Yeah, you have to look at what you're doing, but I would check out all those dicks.
I always
mean-
look at my... Yeah.
Just like-
See,
Just like pissing, you'd be like,
just to like size
okay,
myself
no.
up in comparison to others.
no, honey, no.
No.
Yeah, do you see other women like adjusting their bras and you're like,
No,
oh, yeah,
I
no,
don't.
you don't look at that because you're like, I'm all right.
No, I don't. I try to avoid bathrooms, so I don't know. You know, and June knows this. I have hangups with nudity. So
I've seen her naked though.
she saw me naked. She was my first.
You're like, no.
lady.
Oh.
She was my
I
first,
saw me naked.
first non-relative.
No, and she's my first whose breasts I've touched.
That's right.
Oh,
She told me
wow.
to tape up my
Before
boobs.
his?
Those are pectoral muscles.
They're not quite in the titty realm yet.
So we've had some experiences.
Yes. You're
But-
closer. You're one now.
You're
That's
basically
right.
I got exposed to just how, comfortable men are with nudity. Some men are. I don't know. I'm not. Anyway, so I was on a bus. I don't know if I'm there
bus?
yet. I'm not. Yes, we're on a bus.
Okay.
I was in school. It was a field trip.
on a
Wait a
bus.
second. Now it's a field trip. I'm scared to know.
Is this high
where
school?
goes.
This is high school.
Okay.
My freshman year in high school.
Okay.
Oh, dude.
And where were you?
Washington, D.C.
You went to high school in D.C.?
No, it was a field trip. It was a whole. We were marching. I was in marching band, and we were going to march in the parade there.
Foothill?
No, Palo Verde. Yeah.
right.
A bunch of rich white kids, so we all had enough money to fly.
So everybody flew.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody
the whole,
flew.
The whole band, like the parents had to pay,
First
it was
class.
like $500 for the whole trip, which is not bad. I mean, it was
That was
like
cheap.
yeah, and you got the full tour and shit. I think because it was in bulk, you get those
Yeah.
bulk prices. Yeah, so we're on the bus because we got a charter bus while going around touring DC, and two of the drummer percussion guys say, "Hey, Robert," and I look back and they have their dick out. They're like, "Look at this," just their flaccid dick, and they're whopping, like flapping it around, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Why?
Like, actually, what the fuck? Why is this just a thing guys do on like this is just locker room type shit?
Yes.
And
well,
I'm just
you
like,
were not in the locker room. You were,
Yeah,
no,
you were
and I was
not-
like, all right.
you were
All right.
basically in public.
Were
And
they
then-
sexually harassing you? Should we?
sounds like you
Get a
need to
lawyer
hashtag
on this?
Me too.
Yeah.
You need to talk to
yeah.
HR on that.
Talk to someone about that. And yeah, and then they just kept doing that, like throughout the trip. They'd be like, "Hey, Robert," and I look like, "Who's calling my name?"
I think-
And then boom,
I think
there's a dick.
someone was giving you some
Fuck me
vibes, some fuck me vibes.
They were doing it to everybody. They were just.
Apparently, Robert has this control over men,
That's right.
where
I'm
men just
attracting-
really are into
You
him.
give off
two
the
guys.
vibe.
Yeah. I think it was just like seniors trying to like fuck with freshmen. It was that kind of thing. That's the vibe I got from it. It wasn't sexual. It was more like
Yeah, look at this.
prank.
So
I don't know.
How is
I
that
don't
a
know.
prank?
I don't
Like,
know.
Okay, look, jerk offs. I know what a fucking dick
Well,
looks like.
you know-
I have
you
one.
know
There are men who think their dicks are attractive.
Yeah, well, you know how like there's that dick puppet show?
yeah, I
Yeah.
want
It
to see
was
it
kind of
so
like
bad.
that thing.
I've heard. I know
Where it's
people
supposed
have
to be
been.
funny. Yeah,
It sounds.
it doesn't sound
weird.
funny to me.
It sounds really weird. That's why I want to see it.
Yeah,
Is that
I mean,
right?
And every summer, I say to Frank, "We should go see that dick show. We should go see that dick show." And then
Maybe.
it came to town. It's been here for a while. I'm like, "We should go see that dick show." When are we going to see that dick show?
we were gonna see it. It was just the timing wasn't right.
He just doesn't want to see
Bet.
that dick show.
I'm not going to that fucking dick show. I don't care.
You're like, I've had plenty of dick shows.
I've had all the dick shows. I've seen everybody's dick.
Seen everybody's.
I think it was like that game, where do you know that game where if you do this shit and if you look
Yeah.
at it, you can hit them. I think they were trying to do the ball gazer game, but for real.
But like, for real.
And I was like, God damn. So I got him back a couple times.
No, you didn't.
What-
No, you didn't. Wait, did you?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
They're like, "Well, look at this one."
Check this shit, and they're like, "Oh my god, I've never seen something so
I don't know
amazing."
what to do with myself.
I'm instantly a gay man now.
I love Robert's dick.
Yeah,
That's what they said. They fell in love with it.
that's what they said. Maybe he got a job at Chipotle later.
Maybe the same dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. So, yes, June and I had this
Okay, so-
interesting experience. Did I say it again? Did
Yeah.
I did not.
It was broken up. Okay. So
You see, anyway, I'm gonna get T-shirts. The
so-
wedge of cheese.
yeah. There you go. Okay, so
Okay, so, all right. So, June and I did have this interesting experience together, where we went to a hot spring, and it was my first time in a hot spring. And she is like a queen bee. Where
I'm a queen bee.
yeah, where you talk everyone else into doing things that they probably don't want to do.
Is that an instigator or just like?
Yeah.
No, she's that. Everybody has one of those people in
Yeah.
their lives. And you're like, I don't know if I want to do that. And then June's like, sure you do. And you're like, I guess we're doing
you just
this.
need the little nudge.
Yeah, I guess we're doing this now. And so we went, and we didn't have suits because we weren't planning on going. We just ended up at a hot spring. And June was like, yeah, let's do it. Right? She's into it. And the rest of us is myself and two other ladies. And we were like, we're not getting naked. No. and
No.
and so we had to really talk it through quite a bit.
You did some soul searching?
Yes, because none of us wanted to do it. And so
It's like I wasn't prepared. I didn't moisturize
Yeah.
yeah,
properly.
I was like, nobody needs to see all this.
I didn't shave the stuff that normally would be shaven.
Yeah.
I don't shave any of that stuff.
Fucking
So anyway, one of the ladies, her husband doesn't even see her naked.
what?
What?
But we got to
They
see
go under the sheets?
Did they do it like the Hasidic
just
Jews just through
cut
the
a
hole?
Through the hole.
Through the hole?
Just had to figure it out. So we all ended up seeing each other naked. But
Because
because June did it. She talked.
I told him,
She's
I don't
like,
care
I'm
what
first.
you guys do. You guys do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm going in.
And then she gave that. Well, I mean, unless you're a bitch,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm getting in.
What are you, a bitch?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I didn't know I was with a bunch of bitches in here.
June. And so the one whose husband doesn't see her naked.
Through the hole?
She
We'll call her through the hole.
okay. She was like, okay, Anna, if you're gonna do it, I'll do it too. Because I really didn't want to. Because I don't want to be naked with anybody. I'm like a prude, but a pervert at the same time, which is a weird combination.
Prudevert.
Peruvian.
I don't know. Yeah, Peruvian.
Prudevert.
And so Anyway, she's like, if you do it, I'll do it. But June was doing it. And then our other friend, she was in faster than the rest of us were. And we ended up doing it. And
Wait, who was last? Were you last?
I was the last one in.
I mean, the last one to be like, fuck it. And
No,
then just
because
started
when
tearing
I
shit
said
off.
it, then through the hole said okay. Because we both decided.
I have to tell you all about Naked Time.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell him. Yeah, and then she's like, we should do naked time together. I was like, dude, no.
Wait, is that
Dude,
like?
no.
Is there a definition to naked time? Like, what do you you call it
Go
naked
ahead,
time?
tell us about naked time.
There is a Korean bathhouse here in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
It's on Sahara. And it is sectioned off between men and women. No clothes allowed.
Oh,
So there's a hot tub, a cold tub, and a warm tub, and there's 2 steam saunas and 2 dry saunas, and there's these little showers like this tall.
What's
Plus, you can get a massage too, but that's more money.
What's the
It's
short shower
$25
for?
just to use the
Okay,
facility.
so the short shower comes up to like your belly button. So what's the
Yes.
short? What is it for?
Well, the first few times I went, and you're gonna laugh, but I went with Allison, my oldest daughter, who she likes being naked.
Okay.
Then I took my friend Liz, who is like you, like no one's seen her naked in over 10 years since she got divorced, and she's a practicing Mormon, very conservative, and she's fluffy too, like the rest of us that all have done naked time.
Hashtag fluffy.
Hashtag fluffy naked time.
And she's like, I am not going and being naked. I still don't know how I convinced her to do it, but she did
Because
it.
I told you had this.
You gave her the look, like, unless you a bitch look.
So we went a couple times, and we would see these little old Korean ladies scrubbing themselves in front of these little showers sitting on a bucket. We're like, what are they doing over there?
What's the bucket for?
Well, you sit on it because the showers are only this tall.
What the fuck?
Why can't they make them showers a little bit taller?
Because
I
you
thought
sit
it
on
was-
the bucket.
I thought
They just assume everybody's gonna sit
Bucket
on a
shower.
bucket.
I thought it was a shower for your vagina.
Nope. Nope. For the whole body.
Okay.
And we would watch them. They'd be a half an hour there scrubbing with these little scrub brushes. So we decided one day we
And
were
you do
gonna
it to yourself.
too.
Does somebody do it to you?
Well, you do it yourself.
Okay.
It's basically you exfoliate. So you can buy these for $1. You can buy these pads, these washcloth things, and they're real scratchy. And so you basically exfoliate in front of these buckets.
So that's before you do any water
No, we
activities.
usually do it in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So we'll do a couple hot tubs and stuff. Then we'll do the showers, and then we'll do the saunas.
Okay.
Then you can put on clothes that they give you, shorts and a t-shirt, and go upstairs where it's co-ed, and they have like clay ballroom, and they have a clay oven room, and a jade room, and they all have.
That sounds like quite the experience.
Yeah, holy shit.
You walk out of there feeling amazing.
So how much
It's
is the
very-
full package? Like
$25
for full access to everything.
except for massages, like personal treatments,
yeah.
just to use the facility upstairs and downstairs is $25.
So what's a clay ball?
They're the little balls of red clay, and you lie in them. And then
Okay.
they have red clay ovens that you lie in. They have a jade room. All those things heated give off different rays, ultraviolet rays that detoxify you in different ways, like your blood, your liver, your whatever. So when you walk out of there, you got to drink a ton of water because
Yeah, you're
You'll die.
dehydrated.
You turn into
because you
human
have all
jerky.
those toxins that you've released. Now you got to flush them out. Otherwise, you'll get a bad headache. But yeah, it totally detoxifies you.
God
Okay.
damn.
See, I
this is
told-
the whole thing. You walk in
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
we call it our naked time. So
Okay.
What was the
You're not allowed to
wait,
wear
how
clothes.
often does this happen?
Oh, like twice a year, maybe.
what was the
okay.
longest
I
amount
thought
of
that- I
time?
just say twice a week, but
Yeah, like twice a day.
yeah, I
I
mean,
don't have that much free time.
yeah, I was like,
What
holy
was the longest time you've been there? Like you show up and just
It's easy to lose track of time. So I've probably been there 3 hours.
shit. God damn.
just easy.
Yeah.
Just
I
like,
don't know if I mean, it's
It's
just walking around.
I will tell you, the
Do you
first
get
few times
used
we
to
went, they'll let you have a little towel, you know. And you're kind of like,
you're
like a
just
little
what?
washcloth.
How the
where you-
fuck?
like when you're a
Yeah.
little kid, it's like
no, one of those like little hotel room towels.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How come every hotel room has like these fucking towels that don't
And
even
so
work
you're
right?
kind of like
Yeah.
covering up a little, and then after a while, after about 10 minutes of You're
You're
like,
fuck it. I seen
Yeah.
everybody else's titties. Fuck it.
See
It's just
this?
titties.
This
Yeah.
is all me, baby.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
take
what
it all in.
Yeah.
After
this is it.
our naked time together, it made me feel like really confident about my body in a way.
Wait, you
that
went to this?
No, not that. When
She
we
went to
the,
that other
the
spot.
hot
Oh,
spring.
the hot springs.
Yeah.
And so after that, I did feel like, look, I mean, why am I hung up on this body? Because I don't care if other people see me naked, which bothers Frank a lot. I'll go outside wearing barely anything all the time, and it doesn't bother me. It's just the people I know, I don't want them to see me naked. And so, because I feel like people you know are much more judgmental than people you don't know. But it made me feel
But who
more
gives a
confident
fuck?
about my body. I felt like awesome, actually. So maybe naked time is a great thing because you feel like, oh, I'm not that bad.
Makes you more comfortable.
Or it's
with
not. It makes you more confident in your own skin.
Yeah.
Like in a way that I wasn't before. So I recommend it, although it was super weird and hard, like mentally, to like say, okay, you're gonna see like every part of my unshaved bush too, down to that. It's just like, because it's
Bush
It's like,
time.
fuck it.
yeah.
All right. Well, at least we know the next podcast episode is going to be live from the Korean bathhouse.
No.
On site.
I don't actually want to
Join us next week.
I think we eat Thai food when we're done.
Well, it sounds like a lovely day
We love to go eat Thai food afterwards.
because you're looking at all the little Asian people and you're like, I
Well-
feel like I need some Asian food. I don't know why.
I don't know how we answer
It makes me think of that movie Spirited Away. You seen it?
No.
Yes.
Yeah. You
Like
know, it's
100
the
times.
bathhouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's
You
just
put in the coin and then the little bath
Yeah.
water comes out.
yeah, and they clean you in the giant tub.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah.
giant brushes.
Well, maybe it's just a thing. I think a lot of cultures do that, except for Americans. They have bathhouses.
Yeah, you know what? I'm
It's-
okay with that. I'm okay
Yeah.
with bathing by myself.
But if you go,
I can
There
accept
is
that
a
cultural
men's
difference.
side
Yeah,
you
but-
can go.
but if you go to a bathhouse in America,
about
it's a
dicks
sex
all over the
place. It's what they are
Yeah.
here. Because if you say, hey, if you're one of your friends who wants to give you free guacamole or anything, says, hey, Robert, you want to go to the bathhouse with me?
Yeah.
It means you're gonna get fucked, Robert. That's what's gonna happen there.
100%.
Yes,
100%.
100%.
I feel like there'd be like a bunch of guys with like, full mast on that
Yes!
side who are just like, dude, we know why you're here.
That's
Get
what-
out.
I'm not here for that.
I'm over here trying to exfoliate, trying to get rid of this burnt dick.
Got some, I got some toxins I need to release. Not that kind of release. Just keep your release to
You're here
yourself.
for the wrong reasons.
Everybody keep your releases to yourself.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I would ever go with that. No,
No. Yeah.
No?
I'm all right with that.
But it'll make you feel better about yourself.
I'm
Even
fine.
if it makes you feel
feeling
good about
fine.
yourself.
I'm fine.
I don't need to shower with a bunch of dudes to feel better.
Yeah, I don't need to exfoliate with a bunch of dudes staring at my dick the whole time.
No one would be staring at it. I wonder if girls can go to the guy side though.
No.
You pay extra.
If I pay a little extra, can I go to the other
I
side?
don't think you want to be there. Like the locker room for guys is just a bunch of old guys with like low hangy, shrivelly balls
Down to their fucking
down
knees.
to their fucking knees. They're all like fat and
But
old,
so does that
wrinkly.
terrify you that one day this
I'm
will
already
happen to you? Why? You need
I'm
a-
not terrified, man. I'm just gonna be in like the lean back recliner chair.
Balls
I'll
out.
have a separate chair for my balls.
Separate ball chair. Leather ball chair.
and
disgusting.
I'll
That's
just be
fucking
like,
gross.
you seen those guys who have the really long beards, and they just kind of tie it all up into a little bun. That's gonna be me when I'm older.
Like
You
three rubber bands around the balls.
Yeah, just keep it nice and tucked up in there. I'll wear a jock strap.
That's gross.
Yeah,
It all sounds really gross. I actually
so yeah, you don't want to go to the men's side of
No.
the Korean bathhouse.
maybe
Do
I
not
do.
recommend it.
Probably
I
not.
wonder what the
They
ratio
probably
is.
have like saggy butts.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Loose.
Like
butts.
you know the gross guy you see at the pool.
Yeah.
Imagine 20 of those guys
The gross guy in the Speedo.
in the Speedo. Yeah, but now there's no Speedo,
Speedoless.
and there's times 20. That's what the
no
men's
Speedo.
house of the men's side of the bathhouse looks like.
You're making Frank sick. Frank, it's okay.
I turned green. That's
Okay,
gross.
so oh, dadgummit!
Okay.
Oh, I'm not trying to say it. I'm trying.
So
You were saying?
So, all right. So we were going to talk about some spooky stories, and
well, my middle name is Michael, last name Myers, so I always grew up as
being
being the
like
killer.
picked
So,
on.
Yeah.
Oh,
They were like, well, I didn't. Well, it's funny.
Who
My
told
parents,
anybody it was
my
Mike?
parents had never seen the movie, and
Oh.
I have still to this day never seen the movie.
You don't even want to know what
it's
you're about.
It's not good.
That's
No,
what
it's good.
I'm not interested.
It's good. So
And-
you don't want to. You don't want to see what the.
Nope. Seen Austin Powers though.
Well, that's not your name.
Mike Myers.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So kids were like, "Oh no, Robert's gonna
Yeah,
get us."
and I had no context for it, so all of a sudden I'm at school and kids are like, "He's gonna kill me." I'm like, "Who? Me? What?"
Did you walk around in a trench coat ever?
Yes.
Oh no. Rista.
Good. Once it hit your lips.
Yeah, so I love I could just live inside of this bottle.
Is that right?
It's so
Swim
good.
in a bath of it.
Take it to the Korean bathhouse.
Yeah, take a cigarette and just
Get some naked time with it.
I mean, I think I can enjoy naked time with this bottle of Rista.
Do
Okay.
you think people just?
Are you good?
I'm just gonna drink juice. Yeah.
Mike
It's not
Myers.
really something spooky happened. So I was in elementary school, and I had this. It was like a little playground crush. Me and this girl were hanging around and
Aw.
playing, tag or whatever. I think I was in 4th or 5th grade, and she was like 1 grade younger than me. So I was already going after the young bitches, even at that age. And I think
Why?
Them elementary bitches.
When you say it like that, Frank, it's super gross.
He said it,
No,
not me.
he didn't say it like you said it. Okay, sorry.
yeah.
Look,
So
I'm not Paul Walker.
yeah. So we're hitting it off. I think she's cool. She thinks I'm cool. We're on the swing set holding hands. It was so
Aw,
beautiful.
aw.
I shared my juice box with her.
Oh.
Gave her my extra gushers. And then, so that was about 2 weeks of that going on. It was a really long-term relationship.
Yeah, apparently.
And then
That's like 10 years in elementary time.
I'm at home, and my mom did not like those spooky ghost shows.
Okay.
She was very much not into that. She's like, turn that off, because it scared her. But I was kind of intrigued by it, because I was young and curious or whatever. And I was like, oh, what's going on? And so when she would fall asleep, I'd put on the ghost show. So it's like 11
Immediately.
p.m. I'm watching the ghost show channel, whatever it was, A&E, I think. And so I'm watching the ghost shows. So there's I watch a couple of them. And then all of a sudden comes on a paranormal activity show or whatever.
Okay.
It was about paranormal something. It wasn't necessarily ghost stories, but it was people who had paranormal powers.
Powers.
Yeah, people
Okay.
who are able to talk, how there's mediums, psychic
okay.
mediums.
Okay.
People who are born with the gift to be able to talk to the paranormal spirits or whatever. And I'm watching this, and all of a sudden, home chick from the playground who goes to my school is on the fucking screen.
What?
I shit you not.
What?
I shit you not.
Does she have powers? Is she one of those blue children?
And
Is that what they call them?
she is on the screen being interviewed by the dude talking about how she has these fucking powers.
What?
Shut your
I
motherfucking mouth
kid
right now.
you not.
What?
100%
So
true.
are you totally freaked out about her?
I
after
am,
that?
first of all, I am taken aback because it's 11 at night and I'm all spooked out because I've been watching 2 different shows already. And then boom, I see this girl that I've been seeing at school on the screen. So that enough was what the fuck is going on? And then she starts talking about like, oh, I have these powers and I see visions. I saw visions of Hurricane Katrina coming before it happened. I saw boxes floating. And there's like footage of my school where she's on the swing set and they're like showing her having these visions and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm texting all my friends. You see the shit right now? Because they know I'm hanging out with this girl. I'm like, turn the channel to whatever and see she's on the screen. He's like, oh, I don't have cable. I'm like, what?
The fuck is wrong with you?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Who didn't have
Who
cable
doesn't
back
have cable? I'm like, you're missing this out. This is crazy. I've never seen that episode re-air. But anyway, I was talking about, I watched the whole thing because I'm like, what the fuck? And it's talking about her family or whatever. And they had some actual psychic medium come and visit them and like prove that she is one of them, or, I don't know. I don't remember what it was. I just remember her specifically talking about seeing visions like That's So Raven of fucking of fucking Hurricane Katrina coming. And I was like, this bitch.
Did they have like the cloud around
Yes.
it?
No, dude, I wonder if I can find the episode. I'll send
We
it to
have
you.
to we gotta find this shit immediately.
I am not joking at all. 100% correct.
Okay. So when you saw her,
Yeah, so
what happened?
so the next day
you saw her at school.
you go to school and you're
Like, I can't hold your hand anymore. I don't want to
You're
know
like-
the future.
what the WTF?
What the?
What the WTF? I'm like, so I really wished I would have confronted her about it, but my mom, I guess, woke up during that part and she knew, and I'm like, Mom, this is the girl I'm talking to at school, and she hates this ghost shit.
Yeah.
She's just like, you cannot talk to that girl anymore.
Oh, dude, you were
She is all haunted
Banned?
and black magic, and
she's black magic.
my mom was like super Christian, so she was like, that's like devil stuff. Do not hang out with this chick. And so then I stopped talking to her.
So just complete cutoff.
I was
You
like
guys didn't even
10
talk at
years
all?
old. I'm like too awkward to like say, hey.
And she
yeah.
has no idea why you ghosted her. Because of
I think I might have mentioned.
Ghosted her.
Well, she might know.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, she's a psychic.
Yeah,
so
because
she
she's
knows.
a fucking
Had a
psychic.
vision. She had a vision that
Like, Robert.
it was
She
towards
saw
the,
it coming. I mean,
it was
come on.
towards
She
the
saw
end
the
of
boxes.
I was in 5th grade, and that's the last grade before you go to middle school. And it was towards the end of the year. So I think I might have brought something up to her. Like I said, like, hey, I saw you on TV. And I thought she would have been like, oh, yeah. But she just pretended like, what are you talking about?
What?
It's like, bitch, I saw you on TV.
You know that you were on TV. I saw
And
you.
she's like,
There was footage from the fucking school.
it's like, I have no clue what you're talking about.
Maybe
And
it was
then the
all a
school
dream.
year, I'm finding this fucking episode and I'm sending it to y'all because it's 100% fucking true.
yeah, whatever.
And then we have to find this girl.
We have to find this girl.
See if
I wonder
she
if I
still
can
has
find her on
powers.
Facebook or something.
Hunt that bitch down.
That'd be
I want to know if she still has
crazy.
powers. Because I would like to
Yeah.
get rid.
Hire her to cleanse the house real quick.
I don't. Is there something in here?
I don't know. I'll call her up.
Find
like,
out.
hey, remember
you-
we used to kick it back in the day on the swing set? That was cool.
We kicked it
up,
like
girl?
22 years ago or 12 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, when I was a little girl, back 100 years ago, so we went on vacation to Texas, and I'm a city girl, and we went to a farm because I had a cousin that lived on a farm. I had never seen a farm before. It was just like
Yeah.
massive. It was just massive, and all we did was chase chickens all day. And chickens don't like to be caught; they're really hard to catch.
Yeah.
And so we chased chickens, just massive. You could just. It was like the ocean, where it just looked like it never ended. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And we were hanging out with our cousin, and she was like maybe 4 years older than me at the time, and I was in like middle school. And she's like, what do y'all want for supper? You want? And she,
Yeah.
she was in the South, and she would say pop a lot. Y'all want some pop? And I'm like, I don't even know what's a pop. Y'all want pop? what kind of pop y'all want? I know y'all want pop. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. What kind of pop she
Y'all
got?
want some chicken and grits?
Yeah. And I was like, she's like, we have Coke. I was like, oh, soda pop? And she's like, what's a soda pop? Anyway, so.
What? This bitch.
Yeah. And she's like, what y'all want for supper? And it got to be late. And I was like, I had never heard of supper before
Yeah.
either.
You're like,
and
what's
so
supper?
I was like, we have breakfast, we have lunch, we have dinner. What is supper? Supper is another meal that happens like a
After dinner.
late night snack.
Oh, that's
And-
me
yeah.
every day.
That's Frank.
I have 2 suppers.
Every night. He's like, you know what'd be good? Chili cheese fries.
Chili
You know,
cheese
good.
fries.
Wait, what?
Hamburger.
You make some or what?
No, he just sits there. And then some nights, if it's Friday, we might
Postmates.
get some food
Yeah.
up in here. But anyway, so she's like, what y'all want for supper? And then she showed us to her freezer. They had one of those freezers that's just a freezer where you stick your hand, they put dead bodies in.
A chest freezer?
Yeah. You know, a dead
Yeah.
body freezer, which I've seen.
Yes.
I had
Jeffrey
seen.
Dahmer special.
Yeah. I had never seen one in real life. I saw one in a movie because dead bodies are in them.
You're like, no, I don't want to go in there.
I don't want to go and get
No,
supper.
no.
And it had a lock on it.
I'll watch from here.
Yeah. It was in a different
You
room.
get the food over there.
No, we went
I'll
and we
kick it
looked.
here.
She opened it
You
and it was
guys-
like full of like snacks, like frozen pizzas and like popsicles
Oh,
and
shit.
and
Kept it
deer meat.
stocked.
There's a lot
Yeah,
of deer
of
meat.
course. Yeah. Deer meat.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
deer meat. And she's like, so I was like, wow, we can have whatever we want. And she's like, yeah, whatever you want. Y'all gonna get it all. And I'm like, it's supper time. I'm like, okay. And so we were eating popsicles and it was late at night, but it wasn't that late. It was like 7 or 8 o'clock, but it was dark. And she said, what y'all want to watch on TV? And we were like, I don't know. What's on? And it was 7 or 8 o'clock at night and the Tonight Show was on. The Tonight Show comes
Okay.
on
Okay.
that early.
8 o'clock?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's what I said. I was like,
Because they're in
don't-
Texas and they're
yeah, I was like, I don't
weird
understand.
time zone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then after the Tonight Show went off, the TV was off. They did the little Indian guy and the American flag, and which they don't do anymore. The national anthem comes on. I was like, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
What happened to the
What are
TV?
we supposed to do now?
Yeah, what are we supposed to do? And
Yeah.
she's like, y'all want to tell some ghost stories? And I was like,
No.
okay. And so she tells us a story. She's like, right out there, out past the pasture. So we can see out the windows. All the curtains are open because they live in the middle of a farm and there's nothing around. And it was just darkness and just blackness out there because there's no lights. There's no city lights either. So it's just black. And she's like, way out there past the pasture, there was witches. And those witches, they would get children and they would put them in big old pots and then they would boil them up and eat them. And she was telling the story, and as she told the story, we were getting scared and scared. And because we kept looking outside, and it was just like, and I'd never seen darkness like that before either.
Yeah.
Because I'm from the city.
Yeah.
And so the blackness of the night was terrifying to me.
Yeah.
And so she kept talking about the darkness and the witches, and they're going to eat us, and they're going to get us, and they come into the house at night after y'all go to sleep, and they come and get bad little children. And I was like, oh, what? And we were yeah, I know. We were like so terrified. I had to be like 10 or 11. I was really terrified. And my sister was younger. She was 3 years younger. So we were little dumb kids that never heard stuff like this before. And as soon as she gets to like the crescendo of the story about some witch coming into the house, all the fucking lights go out. The power goes out in the house.
Motherfucker.
So we're in complete blackness.
You're
And
like,
yeah, we were screaming and crying.
yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And my sister's like, oh no, like freaking out more because she's younger. She's like 7 or 8. So she's freaking out more and we're just crying. And our cousin didn't do it. It wasn't a prank because she was sitting beside us. We were all together. And she's like, oh no, don't worry. I'll get a flashlight. And so she gets a flashlight. And she's like, oh, this happens every night. I was like, what the fuck? Why
You're
do
like,
you say this?
You're like,
why
bitch,
would
why
you-"
didn't you warn us?
Yeah. It's like, oh my God.
Bitch, get some new power. This shit is broken.
Get some new power.
This shit is broke.
Get some upgrades.
And then we had to try to sleep in the dark, in the quiet after this
After
happened.
that shit.
Fuck that.
I was like, oh, it was the scariest experience of my life because I was like,
God,
those
yeah.
freaking witches are gonna come, and I could, and the curtains were open in the room we were in all night. I could just look out in the darkness and wait for this freaking witch to come get me. Oh my god!
Fuck that.
So
Fuck that. How old were you?
like 10 or 11.
Oh my god.
I was like, I never want to go
Yeah.
back to freaking Texas again. But then after we left there, we went to a family member's house. Another family member. We only stayed in family members' houses when we went on vacation, which is super lame. We drove
Yeah.
everywhere. It was always a
Yeah.
road trip, and you had to stay with some lame family with their gross sheets and their gross houses. And so
How do you know what gross sheets are when you're 8?
I was bougie from the get. So
I've been boozy
I've been
since
bougie.
jump.
from the get-go. So anyway, so we went, my little brother was like 2 and he cried a lot. And he, we stayed at this house. That's where my parents were. We weren't there. That's what it was. We were with the cousin that was scaring us all night. My parents were at my father's stepfather's house. And it was like an old ass house. It was like a 200-year-old house, something like that, in like the bay, like in a bayou sort of deal. Not a bayou because it's not Louisiana, it's Texas, but it was like near the bay. And they were staying in the house with my little baby brother. My little brother cried all night, cried and cried and cried. My mother's like, "Oh, I think it's the ghost of."
Is that right?
Yeah, it was the ghost.
Straight to the ghost.
Yeah, because
He's crying. He never cries. He's a ghost.
of my mother, of my dad's mother, because my dad's mother was dead, and she hated my mom when she was alive, and she's like, "It's that ghost messing with my baby. I know that's what it is."
Like definitely.
Yeah.
Like
So she's
write
like-
it down on a paper because that's
happened.
definitely what's happening right now.
And so my mom's like, so my brother wouldn't stop crying, so she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go sit in the car with the baby. We'll sleep in the car. Forget this. I'm getting away from the stupid ghost." So they go in the car.
Ghosts can't get in the
ghost.
car.
Yeah.
Oh no, but you know what can get in the car? Friggin' mosquitoes. So my mom, it was like, yeah. So my mom was sitting there with him. He's still crying. He's still upset, and she thinks the ghost is still tormenting him. And then mosquitoes start coming through the vents in the car and filling up the car with mosquitoes. And she's like,
Wait, did you just call them mosquitoes?
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
I heard it.
I'm thinking because
Some damn
She's
mosquitoes.
summoning
no, because
the power of the South.
The ghost
when
of
I
the
go-
mosquitoes.
Call them skeeters.
when I go to different places, I
Them
pick up
damn
the
skeeters.
accents real easy.
yeah.
And so I think I'm just channeling back to that time.
There you go.
And I was probably
Mosquitoes,
talking
got it.
like that the whole time. So the car gets filled with mosquitoes. My mother like, "Oh my God, now your mother's sending mosquitoes to attack us." It was so, oh my God.
your mother, she sent the mosquitoes. she
The
summoned
ghost is tormenting my child and these damn
the mosquitoes and sent them off to the car.
So we were both in
Wait,
separate houses.
Sorry, the skeetos.
Yeah.
I'm going to punch you
I
in the
didn't
neck.
get that right.
We
The
were in
skeetos.
separate houses being terrified all night long. And we never went back to Texas, actually, after that trip.
That was it. The line was
was it.
drawn.
Never going back to that fucking
Through
state.
Texas.
Fuck Texas.
No, don't mess with Texas.
Oh, sorry. Just don't go there.
Everything's bigger,
Don't fuck with them. Just don't go
everything's bigger than Texas. Bigger mosquitoes. Bigger ghosts.
there. Ghosts are bigger.
So scary. That place is haunted and it's terrifying.
No, when I was in, we used to go to Mexicali all the time, and it's like the same thing except for without electricity. So you'd have to worry about the power going out.
It was just already out.
Yeah, didn't exist.
You were just in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Well,
one,
we had candles and the lamps, the oil lamps, because
You were off the grid.
we're off the grid. It was the early '80s, so no power.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'd go.
Candles and shit.
We were visiting one of my
And when those
aunts.
holes in the floor, like Robert.
No, we had proper outhouses. We didn't.
There were
have,
prophouses outhouses.
yeah, they had the little moon
State of the art.
state of the art
With a bidet-
outhouse.
A bidet attachment.
Yeah, bidet attachment. So we're there. We're getting ready to go to bed, and it was one of the first times I saw one of my older uncles without his shirt on,
Oh no.
and and he
Where's the
is
story
missing a nipple. Like this, like one chest nipple section
Minus
is just
nipple.
gone. Minus, like he didn't check that box.
No.
So
And-
is the mound is there,
The mound is like kind of there,
but
but not really. But there is no nipple. He's a single
Just
nipple,
smooth.
singular nipple. No. It looked like it got ripped off.
You one titty ass.
Yeah, he was a one titty ass motherfucker. So he scared the shit out of all of because we were very young
Yeah.
in elementary school. Me and all of my younger cousins, we were all about the same age, and he told a story about how he was really bad when he was young, and the boogeyman, El Cucuy is how you say it in Spanish, came and stole his nipple. So that was his way of scaring the shit out of us, and kind of explaining saying something to
Yeah,
the fact
yeah,
like
yeah.
he was missing a nipple. You don't just kind of
Yeah, you
like
can't
see
just write
somebody.
that off.
Yeah, you don't see somebody missing a nipple and just like not talk about it.
Probably tells that to like adults too.
He probably tells it to adults now.
but why does he want?
El
Why
Chupacabra
would
got
you
mine.
want? Why would you want to steal nipples? What would you do with it?
Right? Like, what's the cucuy gonna do with a fucking extra nipple? Is he gonna like
Dip
attach
it
it
in
to himself?
cheese?
Yeah, dip it in cheese.
You know, deep fry it on a stick. That's what I would do.
Get some carne asada nachos minus the carne, and just use nipples.
So when you went to
Some
visit, were
nipple
you the
fries.
best little boy in the world?
Oh, I was the best.
like,
Definitely,
Like, I ain't
the best.
losing a nipple.
Not not on this trip.
I'm gonna say please and thank you.
not on this trip. I'm not walking away with one less nipple.
I am leaving Texas with both nipples.
Well, it was Mexicali.
Mexico.
Same difference.
Well, I guess it was kind of
It's all the same place.
original. Like,
Originally,
back there.
in the old maps.
But it's funny that you were talking about the Korean bathhouses, and that they all just sit on a bucket and like wash themselves and scrub themselves. That's how you wash yourself in an environment where there's no plumbing. So you have a bucket full of warm water, and you wash yourself sitting on another bucket.
Right.
Two-bucket method.
Yeah, the 2-bucket method. So you got a bucket with like hot-ish water, and you wash yourself, and you use like a giant ladle,
Yeah.
and then or like a giant cup. Wash, rinse yourself, and then you get a brush and soap and do yourself all up. But you're sitting on another bucket. Or
There's no bathtub.
no, there's no bathtub.
Nope.
It's a fucking outhouse. There's no plumbing. It's an outhouse.
But you could have a bathtub. They had bathtubs before there was plumbing.
That's too much water.
Yeah, you can't afford a fucking bathtub out there.
Two
Oh,
buckets.
the houses were made out of like wood and mud.
Aren't all houses made out of wood, Frank?
And mud, like whatever
Adobe
word was found.
Adobe.
Yeah.
Adobe houses are pretty dope.
Well, these were not
Adobe.
These were not the dope variety of houses. They were made out of whatever you can find
the base
around
model.
the environment.
It sounds very rustic.
Yeah,
Impoverished Mexico
Yeah.
sounds so charming.
yeah, it's just so charming and rustic.
I'm sure Anna would have loved it.
She went.
I went, and I had to like hold it for like 2 days. I couldn't because they were like, I was like,
I can pee anywhere.
I can't go outside either.
I can pee anywhere in front of anyone.
Oh
My
no.
goodness.
Well, you just pop them titties out wherever you want, so it doesn't really matter.
You carry 2 buckets in the trunk of your car and
Just ready to go.
2-bucket method on the side of the road. I need a bath right now.
Just want to freshen up.
I need to exfoliate before I make it to work.
Please excuse me.
That's right.
I need to go grab my bucket.
No, I went to the outhouse.
tiny towel.
We went to visit, and it made me have an appreciation for why people leave Mexico. When I saw how they
So-
live, I was like, I would fucking leave too, because this is whack.
This place sucks.
This sucks.
Whack.
This place is whack. Is that what you
Because
said?
it was the 80s. Because it was the 80s.
was the 80s.
People said
It
whack,
wasn't
whack.
the 80s when it was the 90s. Every time I went to Mexico as a child with my parents on vacation, and I was like, oh, it's fun. I would get a little mariachi
and TJ.
dancer all the time, and I thought it was super great. And I would come home with a Mexican accent.
Is
Really
that right?
funny. Yes, every time. I told you I pick up an accent everywhere I go. And so one time they tried to keep my brother because he does the same thing. He was little. And he looks like he could be Hispanic. And so they thought that he was being stolen.
We just steal this little kid. Right quick. We just picked him up on the way.
We're coming across the border. And they were like, wait, son, what's your name? And he's
Like, all right, you're bullshitting me. This is not your.
this is not your kid. And so anyway, that's a whole other story. But I would always visit. I thought it was great. I had been in resorts in Mexico. Great. But
Oh,
then
see,
when I
that's
saw
happens.
real Mexico,
Yeah.
it is terrible.
The real.
Yeah, you
It
went to
is,
Puerto
like the
Vallarta.
houses that he's talking about are made, like I saw houses made out of like cardboard, just like
Yeah.
cardboard, and houses made out of garage doors.
The whole house.
Yeah,
is
it's
made
just
of garage
whole
door.
houses, just
Sections
garage
of it.
doors kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
piled. And like, there's no real, I mean, it's just like whatever you can find, you put together. And
Mm-hmm.
so they had like an outhouse at his cousin's house. And because I was like, oh, I have to use the bathroom. Where is it? We had been driving for hours. And they're like, oh, it's right there in the back. And I was like, in the back of the house? Where? And I go out, and then Frank's like, it's outside. And I was like, what? Wait, what? And I go and I see it, and I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
God. Oh my God.
I want to go back to the U.S. of A.
Oh my god.
Can we go home now? Because I'm the worst. I'm not fun to travel with, and I know it because I'm just like grossed out by everything. One time we came here on vacation, came to Vegas on vacation, and Frank thought, oh, we're going to share a room with my friend and his family. And it's going to be great. It's going to be cheaper if we share a room. And we lasted for
Yeah, fuck that. That
Like
sounds
an-
horrible.
2 hours or something. I don't know.
Like, yeah,
That's it.
we're gonna get our own room.
Because I was like, they were from, where are they from?
Belize.
Belize, and they somehow found something to watch on TV that was in Spanish, I guess. I don't
Yes,
know.
in Spanish.
I don't know. Some language I don't speak. It was some other language, and
They started getting naked time,
not
pulled out their
yet.
buckets.
Once someone got
You're
naked,
like, I'm
no,
not-
they cranked up the heat, and I hate being hot.
Oh,
And so it was
mother-
like hot, and it was Spanish TV.
Dums is fighting like you
Yeah.
fit in a tussle if you turn up
Yeah.
the heat.
Don't touch it.
You know?
I was like, I don't understand any Spanish. I'm like Lucy. We're Lucy and Ricky. I don't know Spanish.
Yeah.
And so if he wants to fight with me and he doesn't want me to know what he's saying, he can say it in Spanish because I wouldn't know. And then they were like on the beds, and I don't like anybody to touch my bed where I sleep, and they were touching the bed. And I was like, I can't sleep in this bed. These people have been on it. And so
They touched it with their dirty booties.
Dirty booties.
I was like, I got to get out of here. And so I left, and I walked out to the car, and I was like, I'm fucking driving back to California right now. And Frank's like, Anna, you can't leave like that. And I was like, oh, watch me. I'm not staying in
"Bitch,
that
I'm
room.
going."
I'm not sleeping in that bed.
She all made a declaration.
I did make insane lady.
And you're like, relax.
She never relaxes. Anyway, June,
We got our own room.
I got my own room.
Just you or both of you?
Yay! Together. I had to share it with him. But
Yeah,
I
unfortunately.
had to share it with him.
Yeah, he was paying.
I got my own room. I'm a brat, and I know it. All right, June. Do you have a spooky story of something that happened to you that creeped you out at some point in your life?
Kokoi.
Yeah, you have a boogeyman?
Did you lose
Scary
a nipple?
ghosting under your bed?
I
Yes, you
didn't- Nope, nipples
You
are
still got
intact.
both? All right.
there.
Cool.
She's
Ain't
like,
what they used to be, but
She's
they're
like-
there.
she's like, I was
Still
good.
hanging on for dear life.
I think they're better than you think they are. I think they're great. I think you have an awesome body.
She's like, witness.
Yeah.
It's like, I've seen this shit. I've seen
She
it
has seen it up close and personal.
I've been there.
under the microscope.
I think you have a great body, and I can't wait for you to get it out there in the world for more people to see and touch. Because I think it's great.
To start a museum display.
I think you have like
Pose.
awesome legs. Like awesome. The whole thing. You look so great in shorts. Like I wish I could wear shorts. Like you can wear shorts.
I have a feeling you can wear shorts
I
better than
definitely
I can.
cannot wear shorts.
I wish I had Frank's legs.
Hey.
These motherfuckers are out here scissoring each other.
Yeah. They can
No.
go to the. What was it? The Fur Fest? The boneless.
The Folsom, the boneless Folsom, the boneless Folsom Fetish Festival
2020.
2020.
No, Frank does have great legs. Like they look like they're chiseled out of marble.
Is that right?
They are spectacular,
Yeah,
actually.
they're pretty good.
They are really
He never
good.
shows me his
That's
legs.
why he doesn't show them
Only
because he
seen 'em
doesn't
in
want
jeans.
to like upset other men.
I don't want you to give me that look.
Yeah.
Those legs
that guac look.
Yeah. Extra guacamole on
Yeah.
those legs.
chiseled out of marble, like a Greek god. But anyway, June,
Yes. Back to me.
back to you.
Yeah, back to you.
So, any creepy, spooky things that happened to you?
She's like, which time?
Yeah.
It's like this week,
I
this
actually
year.
haven't. I don't know. The first thing that ever happened to me, I didn't know was happening to me.
What does that mean?
So, I used to always be in my bedroom, and I would always think somebody was looking at me from the windowsill. And then, you just get that feeling and you look over, but
Wait,
there's
how
nothing
old were you?
there.
How old were you?
Like 17, 16,
Okay.
18, right in that range.
So you're at home. You live
Yeah.
at home.
And I'd look at the window and there'd be nothing there. But you didn't get like this feeling of ominous darkness. You just were like, oh no, nothing's there. Okay. And you move on. And then,
like someone's watching me.
and then I would feel someone sit at the foot of my bed, like when I'm sleeping. And then I'd wake up and look, and I would think it would be my cat. But nope, cat's not there. And then I'd fall back to sleep. Then one day, I felt somebody sit on the edge of my bed. I felt the cat get on the edge of my bed. And then walk up my bed alongside my body, and then curl into my chest and go to sleep. It was just like sitting there. And I was half awake and half asleep at this point. And so I kind of eventually, I opened my eye to look down. No cat. And I was like, but I was like half asleep. So I was like, that's weird. And went back to sleep. Well, then I was in EMT school during a little after this time, maybe within a couple of weeks. And one day in Pomona Valley ER, on clinicals, there is not a soul in the ER, which is very weird. And my clinical partner and I have nothing to do, so we're talking. And he starts telling me these stories about how he's taking this class on how to have out-of-the-body experiences.
Okay.
And I was like
Shirley MacLaine.
Astral
yes,
projection.
Astral projection. I was like, you're what?
You're like,
Are you...
what the
Why
WTF?
Why would you do that? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? Why would you even try that? I didn't even know anything about it at the time. I mean, I'd seen the Shirley MacLaine movie, but I never took it too seriously. And he's like, oh, yeah, we all travel out of our bodies. And I'm like, oh, hell no, we don't.
Bitch, what are you smoking? What the fuck are you smoking?
Yeah.
I was like, no, I do not. He's like, yeah, you do. I'm like, no, I do not. And I don't want to. And he's like, well, haven't you felt someone looking at you from your window? I was like, what?
You're like, what?
You're like,
Yes.
Was it you?
Yeah.
yeah.
Creeper.
You're like, maybe.
Haven't you ever felt someone sit on the edge of your bed? I was like, what?
Oh shit.
You did a double take. You're like, bah, bah, bah.
And then he's like, that's your spirit guide there trying to let you know he's present so that he can help you. I'm like,
Oh no.
oh no.
shit.
motherfucker.
No.
How do I tell him?
You're like,
How do I
am-
put the do not disturb sign on the outside of my door?
I am not sleeping
Not
tonight.
interested.
At that time in my life, that all terrified me.
It sounds. I'm scared right
And
now.
I
Yeah.
literally
I
could
got
not
some-
sleep for 3 months after that. Every time I would like sleep with a Bible on my chest.
You're like,
Oh,
And every
dude.
time I'd start
gone.
drifting off, I'd be like,
be gone.
Put that shit under the pillow. Bible under the pillow.
and those experiences stopped happening to me.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that was probably the most scary. That and I watched The Exorcist. That's terrified me.
Oh, dude, don't do that.
Don't watch it, or
Don't watch that. Whew. No, I used to.
Now that stuff doesn't scare me like it did, but back then it terrified me.
so you never want to get in touch with your spirit guide? Haven't you been in touch with your spirit guide?
oh, that's many years later.
Okay, so what changed your mind, made you feel like
I don't
yeah.
really know.
And do you feel
Probably in the last 10 or 12 years, I've been more open to all of that.
Uh-huh. And so what kind of stuff does your spirit guide? Do you leave your body?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I can't say if I do or I don't, but I have no recollection of it.
Okay. So does your
And nor
spirit...
do I desire to learn how.
What do you guys look? What's over there?
One
Your
of your
daughter.
children.
Oh God! Because,
You're like,
She's like,
yeah, we're
oh
talking.
shit.
Yeah, all of a sudden, they're looking behind
Here's the
me
father-in-law.
with these giant eyes, like
Them
something
skeeters! Watch
is
out for them
about to
skeeters!
get me. Did I say anything? You guys are freaking me out. And I don't like it. What-
Did she leave?
yeah.
She
Okay.
left.
She left.
Maybe it was never her.
Yeah. it's
She's
just a
walking
figure.
around in the spirit world right now.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like sometimes I'll have like, I'll have a dream about something and then, I'll have a deja vu moment or something
Yeah.
in real life, and it kind of makes a connection back to that dream.
Yeah.
But doesn't
And then
it-
it'll be turned into a recurring dream. And I'm like, there's got to be something.
Does it freak you out though when you have a dream that is really negative, and then you start to hope? I hope this doesn't happen.
It used
Like-
to. It doesn't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I have dreams that feel so real, that I feel like this means something. This is really gonna happen. It was crazy.
say
So
it like
then
that.
when I have other dreams that are terrible, I'm like, oh my God, I'm a psychic and I don't want that to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like,
Can I cross this one out?
Yeah, can we just like
yeah.
There's a whole bunch of different kinds of dreams. So there's dreams that are predictive dreams. Then there's just processing dreams, like dreams that you're just working through your crap.
What about lucid dreams? Have you experimented with that kind of stuff? Because I know normally people who keep a dream journal, they do
Yeah.
that because they're trying to teach themselves to remember dreams, so that way you can learn how to become conscious
No.
in your dreams.
Or
I can
control
do
the
that.
dreams.
I can do that
you can control your dreams?
sometimes.
Yeah,
do it.
I've done it once.
What I
couple
usually
times.
do is talk to myself in my dreams.
Okay.
Like, oh, this is ridiculous. Why is this happening?
Yeah, exactly. That's normally where oh, this is a dream, and then I can start editing.
Yeah,
the
I used to be able to
environment
do
around
that
me.
when I was very young, in probably middle school.
I never could control
I
my
always
dreams.
tried once I start controlling the dream, I'm like, well, I want to try flying now. And I can
Yeah.
never. I start to levitate, and then I just fucking fall. I'm like, fuck! I can't even fly when I control the dream.
That's funny.
So
when
you
I
were
have
saying
control.
you have reoccurring dreams. Do you have reoccurring dreams about the same thing?
No, I have.
I did.
Sometimes I will. No,
I mean, the same. Is it always the same exact dream
No.
or the same thing in a
well,
dream?
I mean that's what a recurring.
yeah, I
dream
know,
is.
but I know, like,
Thanks for the definition, Anna.
dadgummit. No, there's
No,
this.
they're not always about the same message or always.
Okay.
It's normally I'll have 3 dreams that end the same. And then that'll just go. I'll never have that dream again. And maybe a couple years later, I'll have the same ending of a dream. And then there might be some other where there's the same middle part of a dream. They're never really connected to each other, and there's not really any super meaning. It's like having a deja vu
Yeah.
while you're dreaming.
So do you have a reoccurring dream about the same person? Or hold on, because I'm not saying it right.
Okay.
Shut up. So okay, so there's this guy that people are seeing in their dreams. A lot of different people are seeing the same guy in their dreams. It's a reoccurring
Is this
group
for real?
dream. Yeah, for real. A lot of different people
I've heard
who
of
don't
these
know each other.
recurring group dreams.
Yeah, this-
heard of that.
Where these people don't know each other are dreaming about the same guy. So it's like middle-aged.
How do
sort
they
of-
know?
Because we're dream researchers or whatever.
Well, they post on Reddit or something.
yeah, stuff like that. Because you
No.
know everybody these days is on Reddit.
Yeah.
And so it's like a middle-aged, bald, white guy. He has like almost a unibrow.
Did they have a
Nope.
name for him?
I don't remember it.
I
They might
never
have
heard
a
of
name for
him. I have know nothing about
No, I don't
that.
have
That's
that
not
either.
mine.
Yeah. And so I have an article about it, Frank, if you
Okay.
want to know. But people are dreaming about this same guy. So have you ever shared a reoccurring thing in a dream with someone else?
Not that I'm aware of.
I've seen on these like Reddit forums or whatever where people are like, they post stuff because they'll be like, hey, has anyone, like they'll post their dream and then people might comment on it and be like, hey, I had the same dream. And that's how they, can figure out that they've had the same dream. I think a couple on there, I've read through them and be like, I think I've had something similar to that, but nothing that
Well,
was
there's a lot of
exact.
common dream
Sure.
themes.
Well, they go into detail about like what's in the environment, like, like there's a chair here, and I was sitting at the table there, and there was this chandelier that had all these, so like the environment's very similar. I don't know. It's certainly
called mutual dreaming theory.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's super weird. No, I've never shared a dream, or I have a reoccurring deja vu sort of dream, yes, all the time, about the same type of thing, but never anything major, nothing scary like the end of the world or anything like that. It's always just, and never the same guy. And after I saw that story about the weird guy that other people are dreaming about, I was like, I hope he doesn't show up in my dream.
I don't want to see him.
I don't want to see this guy.
The way these fools describe this guy. I don't
Well,
know.
I think now once you see, like you've read about this guy, obviously you're now more likely to
Yeah,
see
you're
him
more
in your dream
likely,
'cause it's suddenly
exactly.
your
So
subconscious.
it's probably
Everybody
what it
described
is
it.
that it's not. It's what's that? It's that people heard it, read it, and then they're like, oh, then they're thinking about it. It's like, oh, I hope I don't have that too, just like me. And then of course they dream about the guy. And it's
Yeah.
the exact same guy because they heard about the guy already.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's almost like the what's it called?
Slender Man.
yeah, no.
Dang it, can't remember the name.
Maybe if you point harder at Frank, it'll help you.
What was the
Give me some.
Mandela? The Mandela
Yes.
Mandela
effect.
effect.
Yeah, it's almost like the Mandela effect, but with dreams.
Yeah.
And I think the Mandela effect is real,
I do too.
people. I wasn't convinced of this until the Fruit of the Loom logo.
Okay.
Have you heard of it? Like,
Like,
you know how it used to, like, if you think of the Fruit of the Loom logo right now,
yeah.
it's like there's a bunch of fruit,
Yeah.
and then there's a basket behind it, and it says Fruit of the Loom. Mm-hmm. You remember the basket, right?
Yes. Frank just pulled it up. Yeah.
There's never in the history of the Fruit of the Loom logo been a basket behind the fruit.
I don't remember a basket.
It's like a cornucopia
Yeah,
that the fruit's coming out of.
yeah, that's never existed.
You know that Bernstein Bear thing?
Yeah,
I was like, I read those books. That's not the name of that book.
yeah.
Yeah. So many of those things is like, how is it, how do we all remember the same
Yeah.
thing the same way?
It's kind of crazy. I mean, I don't think there's some kind of multiverse thing. I think it's more of a psychological,
I don't know.
interesting thing. But
I don't know. I think that
See
might
this?
yeah.
the one on the left is
Look,
the one
Jim,
I
it's behind you
vividly
on the
remember.
screen.
Yeah, from like you just picture that on a tag.
That's the one I remember.
On the right,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember the one on the left, vivid, like from my childhood, wearing tidy whities as an 8-year-old, looking at the tag and be like, "That's a weird basket. Why is there a basket?"
Yeah. It's
know?
super creepy. Well, my brother and I, he has a theory that he's from another dimension. And
What is this one with baloney? Oh, the Oscar Mayer logo.
how do you spell the name of this meat product company?
Oscar Mayer.
Huh.
Which one is
It's
it?
actually the one on the right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
I believe
it?
that.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Because you say Oscar Mayer, but
Yeah.
it's really Oscar Mayer, but they just pronounce it Oscar Mayer.
okay.
People spell my name with the E for
Uh-huh.
Myers. They're gonna get.
Which one is the
Slapped.
right one? Isn't the first one the right one?
don't know.
Skechers?
With or without the T.
Yeah, the one on the left is the right one.
With or without a T. Yeah, I don't like this stuff. It freaks me out because,
Yeah.
okay, so my brother Lance says that
There it is.
he's from another dimension because he feels like first he thought it was his wife because he thought she was different. Okay, she was acting different. He's like, a lot of people don't seem the same like they like themselves. They're themselves, but they're not themselves. They're not acting right. And then he said someone said that about him, that it's him who's different. Okay, and so then he had this thing happen where he plays the video games with these little, those little statue things. It's part of the
Amiibos?
game. Amiibos, yeah. So an amiibo fell while he was playing a game on the floor, disappeared. Okay. And then he moved out of the house, so he cleared everything out of the room where he lost this amiibo. He still hasn't found it and never appeared again. It just disappeared into wherever the void, right? And so I told him, it's like, maybe when that thing fell, it was you who was falling into another dimension and not that thing.
Right?
It's still where it's supposed to be. Because I was like, maybe it's not your wife who's changed or anyone else. It's been you the whole time. He's like, yeah, I'm starting to believe that. I think it's me. I'm from a different dimension. I was like, yeah, maybe you are. How do you get back there? He's like, I wish I knew.
Yeah.
Gosh. So, multiverse? Frank?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Frank's in.
Definitely.
Multiverse?
Well, you haven't watched Rick and Morty.
No, I haven't. I'm not going to because I can't stand the burping. I told you. So, June, multiverse?
Probably.
I think it's possible, but how do you get in and how do you fall through? How do you get in and out? How do you get to another
I don't think
dimension?
you can go from one to the other.
Not on purpose.
I think there are probably tears, but if there was a tear, it would still be there.
Yeah, maybe he has to go back to his old house so he can find his way back. I don't know. It's super creepy to me, though. I'm like, dude.
He's just slipping in and out
He fell through.
of different universes.
Yeah. I don't want it to happen to me. That's all I know. And it's 11:30.
How do you know it hasn't already
It's time
happened?
for bed.
Calling it quits.
Yeah.
How do you know it hasn't already happened?
It already did happen. I'm not your wife at all.